and welcome to IsaanFlicks. I'm out for an afternoon walkabout. It's been a dry day so far, no rain, but there's a lot of water about laying on the ground and it's quite soggy underfoot in places. But nevertheless, it's a nice day, although a bit humid and sticky. So, I thought I'd show you what I see as I walk about. So, please sit back, relax, and walk with me. The clouds look nice, but I do like clouds. In fact, I like most things that are deemed to be nature. I like trees and how plants and vegetables grow. But as I have said before, I am a bit of a sad case, and I'm easily pleased these days as I enjoy life in Isaan. I was just thinking, recently I was on the internet and discovered articles on why expats are leaving Thailand. So I read them and was amazed by what I read, and then I watched some YouTube videos on the reasons, which I found difficult to believe. The main reasons given for expats leaving Thailand were deemed to be the currency exchange rates, and that Thai immigration kept changing the rules and requirements for visas. I have been based in Thailand since 1981, and up to a few years ago worked overseas on varying rotational contracts. In all this time I have not had a real problem with visas, mainly because I was not home more than a month, so the 30-day visa was not a problem. However, in the 80s we only got a 15-day visa, so I had to get a 7-day extension, which was not a big deal as I lived in Pattaya then and the immigration officers were in Soi 8. Later on I managed to get a 3-month visa when required, but had to leave to extend it. Eventually I got a marriage visa, which I had to transfer to a retirement visa when not able to wait for the marriage visa renewal. And then finally I changed it back when I retired to Isaan without any problems. Just explained the reason to the immigration officer, had all the necessary documentation at hand, and had all my original documents with me just for confirmation, and it was as simple as that. Changed back to a married visa. But back to the reasons for expats leaving Thailand, because I'm getting off track a little bit. Let's start with the exchange rates, and I shall use the US dollar as the benchmark. Now in 1981 to 1983 the dollar would get you about 23 baht, or a fraction under. In 1984 it jumped to just over 27 baht and then hovered just a fraction above the 25 baht mark until 1997. In 1997 the Thai government was forced to float the baht due to the lack of foreign currency to support its currency peg to the US dollar, and the dollar immediately jumped to 41 baht. In 1998 saw it drop to just over 36 baht to the dollar. In 99 it was around 39 baht, and in 2000 jumped to over 43 baht and remained there until about 2003 when it went under 40 baht. 2005 saw it just under 41 baht. In 2006 to 2008 it was about 35 baht to the dollar. Then in 2009 it dropped to 33 baht. But in 2010, 11 and 12 was hovering just over 30 baht. But in 2013 and 2014 to just over 32 baht. And then 2015 and 16 it was up to 35 baht, but then dropped again to around 32 baht in 2017 and has hovered around that mark ever since, with a slight dip in 2019. Today I believe the dollar is 32.70 and the pound sterling is about 45.25 baht. Yes, I do know the dollar did get a little higher than that I have just mentioned, and the pound did briefly get to as high as 72 baht and remained about 50 baht for a while. But I took my values from what my exchange rates were at the time. Unfortunately, I did not manage to get my salary when the pound was at 72 baht, but nevertheless I did benefit from the weaker baht. But as every expat knows, currency exchange rates do fluctuate, so it swings and roundabouts. Therefore, I have to disagree with the exchange rate being a factor for expats leaving Thailand today. Now on to the visas. From my 40 years experience with dealing with Thai visas, the requirements have not really changed. Yes, the back-to-back tourist visa requirements were tightened up as the system was being abused. However, all the other requirements remain the same, with only the retirement visa monetary requirements changing slightly. But again, this was introduced because the system was being abused. All the other requirements have always been there, but in some cases they were not fully enforced. This may have been due to certain business arrangements, but I say no more. Other than that, in my experience, they are no longer in place. In my case, I provide all the documents as required and usually do not have any problems. So, therefore, I do not think visas are the real reason for expats leaving Thailand. But in my experience, expats have always come and gone in Thailand for a variety of reasons, and not just the exchange rate or the visa. Of course, this may have been a factor for the Russian peoples who did suffer from the fall in exchange rates, but once again I should say no more on that. What I can say, I have always budgeted on 30 baht for a dollar and 40 baht for a pound sterling. So anything above it is a bonus, and anything below that is a fact of life and nothing you can do about it. With all that said, I can confirm something that has changed in Thailand in the last 30 odd years. Thai people have got bigger and fatter, and many are now obese. When I first came to Thailand, almost nobody was fat, and now it is difficult to see a slightly built Thai person when out and about. And this I blame on the rise of junk food. the likes of McDonald's, Burger King, KFC and other similar outlets, and the variety of soft drinks, sweetened milk that are now available. Of course, this problem is not unique to Thailand. I blame multimedia, social media, whatever, who advertise this junk food, and the lack of education on personal health care that is not given in schools, and kids not being out and about but sat in front of video screens or on their mobile phones playing games and watching videos. I have to apologise as this video may be construed as a mini rant, but I do hope you've been watching the scenery as I walked about and rambled on. I do like where we are now living. It was rural, but is fast becoming semi-rural as the town is spreading out around us. Not to worry, life will still go on. The moral for this video is for anyone thinking of relocating, retiring to Thailand, to do your own research. Do not believe all you read and see on social media. Come to Thailand for a few months, check it out, and then decide whether Thailand is for you. Of course, it is much easier if you are married to a Thai. Nevertheless, living in a foreign country is not for everyone, and the last thing Thailand needs is more whinging, whining, moaning expatriates. Again, I apologise for this video, but I just had to speak out for once. These cattle are on their way home, so I shall do the same. Thanks for watching, and bye bye from me.